Good afternoon, USF graduate students. This is Jeff Burton from the Palmetto Community Redevelopment Agency. This is our first project of your internship. We will be creating a spreadsheet, sharing it, and then collecting data from the web on different CRAs around the state of Florida through their audits. So, first thing I want to show you is the spreadsheet that I've created. And this is it. This is the statewide CRA increment revenue spreadsheet for this year. And if you notice, I have created a list and have identified for each of you to have about 55 each. And I will show you where I got this list. I want you to remember that this is the name of the CRA, that this is the year that we're looking for from the audit. The CAFR is the audit. And it will either identify revenue as coming from property taxes or interlocal revenue for CRAs, or it will have both, or it will have neither. So I want to show you how to look for those. The first thing I want to show you is how I came up with this list. So if we were to go to the Florida Special District Accountability Program, put that into the search engine, it would come up with this page. This is an agency that tracks over 1,600 special districts in the state of Florida. We're looking for just CRAs. So if we were to type one, click one, it would come up with this thing about creating or the website or the list. And it says create your own list of special districts. So we would click that. And we would come down to number 7. The function of interest, and we would look at community redevelopment right there, boom. And then we would hit, you can hit summary, or you can hit detail. I think I want you to hit detail, create your own report. It will just take a second and it will create a report. And as you can see, there are 224 in the list. And I want you to look at, this is in alphabetical order. This is the first, Alachua Community Redevelopment Agency, Altamont Springs Community Redevelopment Agency. And this is important that you know how to find this, because as you're looking at each of yours, there is an item right here called Local Governing Authority. Now with that, it says that it's the city of Alachua. That is where the audit resides. It's with the city of Alachua audit that we're looking for the data. Same thing with Altamont Springs. It's the city of Altamont Springs. I'm just going to scoot down here to Babcock Street CRA. So when you hit a CRA that's not named after the city, you can come down to local governing authority and it says it's the city of Melbourne. So that is the audit that you're going to be looking for, is the city of Melbourne. So there are 224, about 55 each. I've showed you the list. I've shown you the shared spreadsheet that we're going to be working with, and these are the areas that you're going to be inputting information. Now how do we get the information? Well, you can also type Babstreet CRA into your search engine, and if you're lucky, it'll come up with the city of Melbourne, and you don't have to go back to that list. Okay, back to the audit. How do we find the audit information? I type in Florida Auditor General, and if I click that, this is the main page of the Florida Auditor General. Every city and county has to submit their audit to the Auditor General, and the Auditor General records them and saves them online. So if we come down here to File Reports, come to Municipalities, if you're looking for a municipality, it will list you all the municipalities in the state of Florida. There are over 360 of them. And again, we're only looking for 224. And a city can have more than one CRA, so it might be actually less than 224 cities that we're looking at. So you can see here, A through G, H through O, P through Z, listing of the cities. And we want to look at the first CRA in our list happens to be Alachua Community Redevelopment Agency. And it happens to be the city of Alachua. And I want you to use 2014, 2015. It's not the newest information, but not everybody's 2015-16 is actually finalized with the state. So I want to keep the data as pure and correct as possible, and I don't want to mix years. So I hit original report under 2014-15, and it will come up with the audit for the CRA. Now, if you go down to the table of contents, we're going to be looking for something that says statement of revenues. Okay, that's what we're going to be looking for, the revenues of the CRA. So there that is. We can go to 20 and look. I can also up here put in redevelopment. That's a good keyword to use to search, and you'll see why in a second. But if we were to go and look at everywhere where redevelopment is, we would find that it's a lot of places in the audit. But when we get to around 20, which here is page 18, it starts breaking down on the balance sheet the city's general fund, the CRA's fund, okay? But this isn't revenues, this is assets and liabilities. So if we keep going down to page 19, it continues to talk about things. But when we hit page 20, there is statement of revenues. Here is revenues right here. There's the CRA, and as you can see, there are no taxes. But when we get to intergovernment revenues, it's 352,067. That's the number we're looking for. So we just come over to our spreadsheet and write in interlocal revenues, we type in 352,067 and hit enter. Go to the next one, Altamont Springs. And again, all you have to do is go backwards to here, to this list. There's Altamont Springs. Type 1415 original. There is the CAFR, the Comprehensive Annual Financial Report for the city. And redevelopment's already in my list, so I could just move forward and search through the document. It says there are no results with that. So then I have to go look at the financial section, and I have to look up basic finances, and I look for something that says statement of revenues right there on page 36. And 26, 32, 34, 36. It says Community Redevelopment Agency. The reason why it might not do a search is this might not be a searchable PDF. And we look for revenues, and we look for Community Redevelopment Agency. Intergovernmental revenues, there's 2 million. Taxes, there's 0. So we would put this number on our spreadsheet. So we're looking at 2122665. There it goes. Next is Apalachicola, and we can take a look at that one real quick. And again, we're looking for the audit, and we can come down here to Apalachicola. We go to the 14-15 fiscal year, and we have the Apalachicola, and if we do a search, this has results right here. And you have to look at some of these closely, because you'll go through and you'll look for this money, and you won't find anywhere where there's any revenues for CRAs. But up here in the text, where they're kind of giving you a summary, it says the Apalachicola Redevelopment Agency is an advisory committee appointed by the board and conducts no financial transaction and is not considered a component unit. This no financial transactions means that they have no money, they're spending no money, and they're collecting no money, which means that that's a big 0. And if we were to go through and list through the basic and go look at the revenues, we would find that in no place is there anywhere where they're even listed. So be careful when you see that when the CRA itself is not listed, that you need to just double check, and it might be a 0. So just be careful of that. Again, we would come up here, and we can either leave them blank, or we could put zeros in here just to verify that there's nothing. So there's the first 3 that are done, and we've got 2 different results. But just go through each one of these. Look to see if you can find the city that it belongs to. If you find a CRA that's not named after the city, look it up or look through the list, and then go through and look for the revenues. Very important.